Hello, everyone. I hope you are all having a fantastic day or night, depending on where you are in the world. So, I kind of wanted to talk to you all today about one of the topics of the book, and it deals with how do you feel when one of your biggest bullies in life is your best friend? Okay. We discuss, or you hear a lot about, bullies at school, bullies at work, adults who are bullying, kids or whatever, workplace bullying. There's a lot of different types of bullying that we often hear about, but rarely are we ever discussing, how is a person supposed to deal with the bully in their life being somebody close to them? When you have a strong family, when everything is going good at school, but the person that you were closest to in your life is your bully. And that's kind of what Tara had experienced throughout her life. Was her best friend Marley. They met when they were 5 years old, and Marley, even back then, was just, she kind of leached on to somebody who she felt was lesser than her, somebody that she felt that she could control, kind of manipulate, kind of like a puppet in a way, like a puppet master type of deal. And you think that little kids don't often possess those qualities yet, mastermind type qualities, but they do, especially when they're coming from a home environment that is not fostering, healthy relationships, healthy growth patterns, or if the issue is between the parent and child themselves, which, most of the time it is. Um, so basically, Tara and Marley, though they were best friends, though, they kind of went through the journey of grade school, middle school, high school, and even into college together, in the end, Tara was kind of the victim of Marley, and the fact that Tara had her own identity. She had a very strong family. She had a brother that she was close to. She had loving parents who were active parts of her life. She had friends outside of Marley who were very supportive of her. And she kind of she had her own identity, basically. But then you have this girl that you see as your best friend, kind of as your own sister, because Marley didn't have a sister. Tara didn't have a sister either. They both came from a family that where the parents produced all boys. That happens. So it was kind of it was almost a parasitic relationship. Marley was always feeding off of Tara. Her energy, her vibes, the fact that Tara kind of had everything that Marley did not have, in the form of a supportive family, supportive friends who were not actually afraid of you, people who actually respected you for who you were and not because you were an asshole, basically. So when Marley comes missing, Tara kind of has to come to terms with how she is as a person. You know, she is smart, and there's nothing wrong with being smart. She's athletic, she's beautiful, she's all these different things. She's a great daughter, she's a great friend. She has all these fantastic qualities that Marley just kind of pushed down over the years and kind of made her feel less than. So now that she is front and center of her own life, she kind of has to figure that out. So if anybody actually has a relationship like that in their life, like how can I don't know, have any of you seen Pretty Little Liars? That show that was on ABC Family probably 10 or so years ago. It's one of my favorite shows, but that's, if you've seen that show, that's kind of how it is. How the liars were in relation to, gosh, what was her name? Allie, the girl that was killed, but who really wasn't killed. Sorry for the spoiler alert. But it is possible to love somebody and to hate them at the same time almost. It's possible to have an enemy in your friend, a frenemy, or whatever you would call it. Um, and kind of talking about how Marley felt in all of this, that kind of delves into psychology a little deeper than what I want to go, but it is possible to be bullied by someone that you love who is also claims to love you, and maybe in the way that they kind of do. In the book, Marley, she did love Tara. She did love Tara, and she loved their friendship. It meant a great deal to her. But, you know, a narcissist, as much as we like to put a negative connotation on that, they do have feelings. They have personalities. They have fears. They have doubts. They have things about them that are lovable, and all people with flaws, character flaws, psychological flaws, there is something there to love at the end of the day. And I do think that it is fixable if the person gets help, if they acknowledge that they actually have an issue. But and in my book, it was just too late for Marley. You know, her disappearance and the effect that she had on her best friend Tara, she will never know that. So just know that if you're in that type of situation, and I've experienced it personally, and perhaps I'll talk about that more in a later video. Just know that it it exists. You're not the only one. It happens to a lot of people, and you just don't really recognize it until it's too late. But if you feel like you're not getting that unconditional love and support that you are getting from other people, then maybe you need to look at this relationship and say, hey, something's off here. Maybe this is not the type of person that I thought I was dealing with. And, kind of exit stage left. If you feel like what you're going to say is not going to be either heard, understood, implemented, then sometimes it's best to keep your own peace and just kind of fade into the background until you can get somebody who can actually help with the situation, if you want the situation helped at all. Sometimes it's just best to say, hey, our season's over with somebody, and to just move on. It's okay for relationships to come to an end. It's okay for relationships to end. It's okay for you to say, this is no longer serving me. And even if you can't serve another person, it's okay to just end things and be okay with the relationship not really being okay. We live in a world full of people, and sometimes getting rid of that person that we thought was going to be in our lives forever, when the person that we created the greatest memories with becomes a memory, you kind of feel like no one is ever going to feel that, or excuse me, fill that void again. But it can be. I'm here to tell you that there are other people out there who will love you unconditionally, support you, hear you, validate your feelings. Sometimes you just have to put in the work to find them. It's so easy to grow up with people and think that you kind of have to stay in their life or they have to stay in yours, but it's okay to outgrow people, and it's okay to move on. It's okay to keep your peace, state your peace, and find what's best for you. Think of it this way. If you're stuck in a situation or you're refusing to move on from a situation, then you can never allow somebody who is meant to be in your life to be in your life. It's kind of like if you have a closet full of clothes, you can't bring in new clothes until you get rid of some of the old ones. You have to create that space for the love and support that you're looking for. Okay? Keeping people in your life who don't love you, who don't support you, who don't validate your emotions, who are bullies, you not stepping away from them is not only doing yourself a disservice, it's doing a disservice to a person in this world who is needing you. Okay? Somebody who actually needs what you have to offer and somebody who wants what you have to offer. And trust me, you have a lot to offer. So enjoy this day or this night, and I hope you can find the courage to move on from a relationship that is not serving you. Take care.